If you look at it, it's less than 6 hours to another brand new year, 2017. But we're looking at 2016 in retrospect. Quite a whole lot happened in the course of the year. And our panelists are trying to, well, bring us up to speed and analyze some of those issues. Before we went on the break, Mr. Shitu was trying to tell us more about an act which
Well, what I've tried to say is that while I hold the view that the fight against corruption must be fought within, with respect, in the context of respect for the rule of law, I'm also of the view that what happened on October 7 and 8 did not contravene any known law. I've taken time to look at the relevant provisions of our laws, particularly the National Securities and Intelligence Agency Act, empowering the President and then the DSS to intervene when there's alleged crime but against national security. And you have to be able to interpret a crime that will offend national security broadly. This is not saying that those who have been accused or those who have been arrested are guilty. No, I'm of the view that we should have an open mind and then allow the trial process to be completed before you condemn anybody, because reputations are involved here. But I'm fortified in my view that this government came to power, promising Nigerians that they were going to fight corruption. And like the Vice President mentioned, we have elements of corruption in all the arms of government. All the arms of government. The judiciary, the executive, the legislature, we have corrupt tendencies there. So I don't see what is happening as an attack against the judiciary, because you cannot attack the judiciary as an institution. Because what the judiciary as an institution stands for are well known. Fair play, justice, equity, independence, those are, integrity. You cannot attack those principles. But individuals who have questions to answer, including me, if I have questions to answer, must subject myself to the question you want to ask is the immunity that we all talk about, does it extend to judicial officers? The answer is no. So what we should be concerned with at this stage is not whether the judiciary is being attacked, because the judiciary cannot be attacked. It's whether the rule of law is being obeyed. And if I haven't looked at the provisions of the law, including the National Security and Intelligence Agency, coupled with the Administration of Criminal Justice Act, empowering police officers to search premises at any period of the day, including public holidays and Sundays.
So let's
So if you look at all those provisions holistically, barring sentiments, you will see that what the DSS did on 7 and 8 is covered by the law.
Okay, so let's ask Captain Omosigo, the mode of arrest of the judges and those concerned in this corruption cases. What do you think about it?
For me, all well and good. I don't see anything wrong in the arrest of the judges. And I don't see anything wrong in the timing, whether it's midnight or daytime or whatever. But if an arrest is being made within the confines of the law, there is nothing wrong. One question I must ask is, the judges above, have immunity to all these areas. If they don't have the immunity, and the immunity does not cover them for anything of this nature, and they are found wanting for one reason or the other on the basis of corruption, which the government stands for, I think the arrest made so far was okay.
Mr. Adegboruwa, let me ask you this question. A lot of people have always had issues with the mode of arrest of individuals, whether you have immunity or not. You're treated as a criminal the minute they say go and arrest this particular individual. And it's one issue too many, because everybody feels that until you have been adjudged guilty, you have the right to be treated fairly until you go to trial.
2016 is the worst year in the history of judiciary in this country, when a civilian government deliberately set out to intimidate, set out to awe, and then also more or less harass officers who are supposed to be in the temple of justice. Not just officers, but virtually every sector of the rule of law mantra in Nigeria has been breached by this regime. We established the ECOWAS court. Nigeria is the biggest country amongst the ECOWAS nations. And the statute establishing that court says that the judgment of that court is final. That court delivered the judgment and said, release Colonel Sambo Dasuki. As I sit here, that judgment has not been obeyed. And it's not subject to appeal. If you want to arrest anybody, the laws, at least the Administration of Criminal Justice Act, says that you will inform the person the reason for the arrest, and the only way you will handcuff or use force is when arrest is resisted. When you go in the night with hammers, with cobwebs, everything, with guns, to go and break down the door, not just a judge, any Nigeria, when secret people begin to operate in the open, then you know we're in trouble. And if you ask me where this anti-corruption war is going, you can just see it in what is happening in the agency that is fighting the corruption itself, which is the FCC. The very head of that agency is mad in allegations. Everything we have now is acting. The CJN of the country is acting. For the first time in the history of this country, the president has refused to forward the name as recommended by the National Judicial Council to the Senate. So everything within the confines of this government in terms of judiciary has been in breach. Justice Idris of the Federal High Court gave a judgment and said there shall be no increase in electricity tariff. Clear mandate, clear judgment, it was disobeyed. We're paying the new tariff as I sit here today. We're still dealing with estimated bills in this country. So I believe that for us as Nigerians, the message we must send to this president, to our president rather, and indeed this regime, follow your manifesto. Because I took time to read the manifesto of the All Progressive Congress before I came here. You want to revitalize the judicial system, reforms. Go to the courts. I stand as a lawyer virtually every day. There are courts in Lagos where I have no place to sit. Go to the institutions that are responsible for additional justice. They're not taken care of. And how do you fight corruption except you do it through the institutions?
I think Mr. Additional should be able to tell us more on this. Mr. Additional, it's a moment we're looking at 2016. And again, you've heard what Mr. Adegborough is saying on this. He did say it's the worst, 2016 is the worst year for the judiciary.
Thank you. If I was actually in Lagos with you there, with your kind permission, I will carry Barrister Wahab to shoulder high, because I think he just analyzed the issue properly, dispassionately. And I also give kudos to the captain. They did dispassionately. And I also salute Barrister Adegborough because it is true to his character. Anything that is this government, he opposes. That is him. What happened on the 7th and 8th October is a fight against corruption and not a fight against the judiciary. We have said it. Unless anybody is saying that some people are exempt from the battle against corruption. What happened was a fight against corruption and not a fight against the judiciary. Anybody that says it's a fight against the judiciary is not telling the truth. It is a fight against corruption, and wherever that corruption is seen, in the executive, in the legislature, in the judiciary, this government is resolved to battle it.